Hello class, welcome to a Room 222 Photoshop tutorial. Today's project is the zombie portrait. So this is what we're going to be doing. Let's go to our Photoshop and Tools and Resources folder. It is now in the Useful Tools folder. Go to Examples, and we are going to be making a zombie portrait. Looks like this, zombifying ourselves. So what I need you to do is upload a self-picture. You could use the same one that you might have used for the newspaper portrait if you had done that project already, or you can upload something different. So I have my same portrait that I'm going to use because I didn't want to take another picture. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with creating a duplicate layer, Control J. Then we're going to zoom in and we're going to use the polygon lasso tool, and we are going to make an outline around the pupils of the eyes. And you just click to get into a semi-curved shape. Then you're going to hold down the Shift key, and then you're going to click, and then you can let go of the Shift key, and you're going to go around the second eye. And you want to get to the point where there's a little circle here, and you click and it creates a selection. Next you're going to right click just in the general area. You're going to click Feather. You can feather it anywhere between 1 and 4 pixels. 1 is bigger, 4 is smaller. I'm going to go with 2. Click OK. Doesn't do much, but that's okay. Then I'm going to right click again and do Layer via Copy. And I am going to then change the hue and saturation of those eyes. And to do that, I'm going to do Control U, and I'm going to make the eyes red. Adjust a saturation just a little bit. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to change the blend mode and try those out. I like this hard light, so that's what I'm going to keep it with. I'm going to click this square right here, and it is going to lock transparent pixels. Good. Next, I'm going to click on Layer 1 again. And now I'm going to do the entire eye. Select the entire eye using the polygon lasso tool. And then again, hold down Shift to do the other one, and then you can let Shift go as soon as you click down. And now both of those eyes are fully selected. We are then going to again click Feather. I'm going to keep it at radius 2, and then right click again and do Layer via Copy. And then I am going to lock these transparent pixels, and I'm going to name this white eye, and I'm also going to name Layer 2 red eye. You should do the same. Back on the white eye, I'm going to take the brush tool. I want the colors to be black and white, D for default, black and white, X to bring the white forward. And I'm going to color over the eyes to create a mist-like feature. And as you can see, my opacity is around 38, brush is 25, hardness is 31. Anywhere around that It doesn't have to be exact, but it should be enough to create a slight misty-eyed look. And then you can also adjust this with the blend if you want. I kind of like this screen look, so I'm going to stick with that. Next, I'm going to go to the burn tool, and I need to be on layer 1 again. Midtones is the range. Exposure should be relatively between 50 and 75%. And we're going to apply this to underneath the eyes. It's to give it a tired look, and maybe a little bit above it. We're going to really work the bags. Alright, I like that. Next, we're going to add a new layer, and we're going to call it Red Under the Eye. Red Under Eye. We're going to go to our brush tool, and we're going to click on our foreground layer and make it a dark red. Bring the opacity up to 100% and adjust the blend mode to soft light. We're going to apply it underneath the eyes. And we have soft light as our blend mode. Next, we're going to click on the eraser. We're going to make it large, enough that it covers the eye. And we are going to bring the opacity down to 25% roughly. And we're just going to click over top. Just click a couple of times, and it's going to mute the red underneath the eye. If you like it a bright dark red, that's fine. Leave it that way. Otherwise, mute it some. Next, we're going to click on the smudge tool, which is right above the dodge tool. It might be on your blur, which looks like a teardrop. So we're going to click the smudge, and we're going to click and drag down and kind of make this a bit droopy. And the strength should be at 50%. Now we're going to import a stone texture, so we're going to do Control-0 to go out. And we're going to go to Open, and we're going to go to the Z drive, Useful Tools, Photoshop Tools and Resources, Stock Photos, and it is under Miscellaneous, Stone Texture. Open. We're going to bring it forward, and we are going to drag and drop it over onto our picture. Before that, though, I'm going to crop my picture down just a little bit. Because I don't need all of that. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our layer, Control-T to move it. And we're going to size it so that way it is over my face and over my neck. Hold and Shift to keep the size about the same. You can rotate it. We're going to bring it to the top, so enter. We're going to bring it to the top, and then we are going to go to Layer at the top here, Layer Mask, Hide All, and it puts it behind there. And then we're going to bring it forward. And to do this, we go to the brush tool. White is in our foreground. We're going to lower the opacity to roughly between 25 and 30%. And then we are going to bring it forward on our photo around the forehead and the cheeks. I'm going to make my brush just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And you can then change the blood mode on this also, if you want to make it look maybe a little bit more menacing. If it's too stark of a gray for your liking. I like this linear burn, so I'm going to keep that. You can also change the hue by doing Control U on the stone layer and adjust it a little bit that way. I don't like that, so I'm not going to use it. Now we're going to create a new layer. And all of you should have, so we're going to go to our brush tool again, and we're going to create the blood brushes. So double click, do blood brushes. All of you, except for maybe a few, should have these extra brushes down here that look like blood. There's a hand, there's kill, it looks like blood dripping. And you are going to apply that at will to your picture. If you do not have this, let me know. Sometimes some of the computers don't allow it, and we haven't really figured out why. And if yours is one of those computers, we just might have to work with the brushes that we have. So you should create a dark red color again, and then you're going to apply them at will to your picture. So go ahead and do that. Alright, so we are done with the blood brushes. If you want to try looking at the blend modes again for these, go for it. I'm going to stay with the normal. And then I'm going to now bring over a skull. So we're going to go to File, Open, and we have 3 different types of skulls to pick from. You may choose whatever one you want. You could open up all 3 and try all 3 out. I'm going to go with the skull PNG. You can open all 3 again, or just pick one. And we're going to bring this over. Drag and drop. And then we are going to use Control T, and we are going to transform it so it matches up with my face. And I would suggest bringing the opacity down so you can see the eyes. And you want to relatively get the eye sockets over your own eye sockets, the nose over the nose, and the mouth over the mouth. You may need to use the warp tool, bring it up a little bit. best you can. And then once you like it, you'll click OK. You'll bring the opacity back up. And then we're going to go to Layer again, Layer Mask, Hide All. Alright, we are now going to bring forward the skull just like we did with the stone texture. So we need to go to our brush tool, make sure we are on the Layer Mask. We're going to move it back to a regular brush. Lower the size. And then we're going to bring forward our cheekbones, jawline, and eyes. You can adjust these blend modes also to make it more menacing. I really like this linear burn, so I think that's what we're going to go with. And then next, I want to add a better background. So what I'm going to do is go to Layer 1 and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to select myself, or select around myself, and then delete the background. Alright, then we're going to worry about this later. So now I'm going to upload a background. You have several backgrounds to pick from also. I'm going to take the Spooky Castle. That one's my favorite. We're going to pull it forward. We're going to move and drag and drop. And we are going to place it behind Layer 1 Copy. We're going to do Control T. And then we are going to transform it, size it until it fits. You may find that there are some green spots still evident, and you can always go back and fix them. Okay, so I want to bring forth this background into where my hair is. Or I could bring forth my hair and just add more. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use the clone stamp tool. And I'm going to bring forth a little bit more hair. And that pretty much fixes that problem. There's some green yet, so I'm going to go to my background layer and try to get rid of that a little. And you may have to go back and forth as you move around the head because the colors change. That doesn't look too shabby. Now what I'm also going to do is change the blend mode of my picture. And see if I can make it match the background a little bit better. Alright, I really like this linear light. I might see if I can adjust the opacity a little bit. We'll keep it up high. I am going to move the background a little. And since I moved the background, I now have to just adjust around my head a little bit to add another layer. Forgot about that. And now this will work. Okay, and then now we have our finished product. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to File, Save As. We're going to find our Finished Projects folder. And we're going to save it under Zombie Portrait. Save it as your name. And save it as a JPEG. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is a harder project and it will take some time. So if you're struggling at all or anything like that, please let me know. Alright, now off you go.